My name's Alexa. I'm going to start off this video by just saying a few words to you guys, and I just want you to sit back and listen. Are you ready? Atrial fibrillation, anticoagulation, international normal ratio, factor Xa inhibitor, pulmonary embolism. I hear these words sometimes on a daily basis, and I know exactly what they mean. Do you guys? If you don't, that's okay. On average, probably half of you don't know what all of these words mean. This is my video on communication issues and things that I've encountered in my life and specific issues I've had in order to communicate with people. So first off, most of you guys might know from my previous video that I'm a pharmacy student at MUSC. And we're taught in school, and they drill it into our heads, that we have to tailor how we communicate to patients based on how we think they're going to understand it. And they pretty much tell us, in order to make sure that your patients understand what you're saying to them, you have to say it to them in pretty much a 4th grade reading level. And that's because on average, most patients don't know what all of those words mean that I said at the beginning of this video. So when I'm communicating with patients, I don't use words like pulmonary embolism, anticoagulation. I have to pretty much shift those words into something that they're going to understand. Through my time on rotation this past month in May, when I was working at the hospital, I was able to counsel patients and communicate with them. And I found that the best way for them to understand was for me not to use a term that I like to call jargon. In our Roebuck text, they specifically state that jargon can be one cause of a communication issue. So in order for me to not have those issues, I'm not going to use jargon to my patients. There have been other instances where I've had language barriers when I've been working at the pharmacy. While I could be working my weekend job at Publix Pharmacy and I have a patient come up to the pickup counter and they don't speak any English, they only speak Spanish. Unfortunately, I have to tailor my communication skills to that. Whether that means trying to use broken Spanish that I haven't used since high school, whether that means that I need to get a Spanish translator on the phone in order for me to be able to communicate with them. Those are just 2 ways that I try to find resolutions to my communication issues that I deal with patients. So in order for me to make sure that I'm able to communicate well with patients, I specifically need to do 3 things. I need to prepare. I need to prepare what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, make sure that I'm not speaking too fast, because I have been told that in the past that unfortunately I talk a little too fast. And I don't know if it's just because I get excited in what I'm talking about and then I just start talking faster and faster and faster, but I have been told that, so I need to make sure that I say it in an appropriate pace. The second thing that I do is I need to tailor the content that I'm speaking about to my audience. So like I said earlier in the video, I need to make sure that I'm speaking in a way that a person who has a 4th grade reading level would understand me. And lastly, I have to make sure that I'm organizing my thoughts. So sometimes when I'm having to go counsel a patient on a specific medication, I will write down all of the thoughts that I want to come across during that interaction. I organize my thoughts written down on paper. That way, if I think I've forgotten something, I'm able to reference it, look at it, and be like, this is another thing I need to talk to you about. So those are just a few issues that I've had in the past with communication. Those are a couple of ways that I like to resolve my issues that I've had with communication. And thankfully, I've been pretty successful in creating resolutions when I do have issues with communications with my patients. I hope you enjoyed my video, and this was my video on communication issues.